Yeah, people have a lot of different opinions on this. Typically what happens is, as we all know, labor unions are usually allied politically with the Democratic Party. We talked to workers over at Ford Michigan Assembly, and they told us they actually want to hear from both the Republican and Democrat frontrunners for this upcoming presidential election.
Actually, I really don't like neither one, so.
Elton Wheeler is one of many Ford workers with the take on President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump, meeting with auto workers this week as the UAW's historic strike against the Detroit Three continues. You don't like either one, why?
I just don't like the taxes they use, you know what I'm saying, on the world, you know what I'm saying, and we're all in a bad situation as it is. This is why we out here striking for more money.
We found rank and file reaction is indeed mixed, with Biden set to join UAW President Shawn Fain on the picket line Tuesday.
Hopefully he's on our side. I would expect that. He says that he's labor friendly, so I hope that he does come with some good intentions to benefit us.
Meantime, Trump will meet with about 500 workers Wednesday at Drake Enterprises, an auto parts supplier in Clinton Township.
I like it as well. I don't believe the UAW should be limited to Democrat or Republican. I believe we should hear both sides, and whoever is for us, I believe that's who we should support.
Well, hopefully there's no fighting, and him and Biden can stay neutral, but I feel like that's a good thing too. Our old president's coming, he's supporting us, Biden's supporting us, so more love, more the merrier.
The stakes get higher every day. The union says they are closer with Ford on striking a deal than they are with Stellantis and GM. Unifor, which represents Canadian workers, ratified a 3-year agreement with Ford and have now turned their sights onto GM to strike a deal there.
President Biden is coming here to, I think, help fulfill his promise to be the most pro-union president that we've ever had. I think it would look a little strange if he didn't show up and support them and try to make that claim.
Dave Dulio is a political science professor at Oakland University. He also weighed in on the impact of Trump's visit.
In 2016, when he came to Michigan and campaigned on issues mainly around trade and manufacturing jobs and talked to voters, many of them whom worked for Ford, Stellantis, GM, suppliers, and talked about backing out of redoing NAFTA, backing out of the Trans-Pacific Partnership, which he did, renegotiated NAFTA, and I think he's going to try to talk to those same voters in that same way.
Meantime, Stellantis released a statement responding to the visits, the presidential visits. Stellantis says on the first day of the strike, President Biden said UAW workers deserve a contract that sustains them and the middle class. We agree and presented a record offer. The statement goes on to essentially say, we're paraphrasing now, that both sides, labor and management and the automakers, they need a fair deal that honors both sides on that. And you will have more of that statement on our website, fox2detroit.com. We're live in downtown Detroit. Dave Kinchin, Fox 2 News.
And we keep hearing from these workers, though, really, they want to keep politics out of it. They just want to be able to reach a deal like Ford. And so what was Ford able to do that GM and Stellantis still haven't been able to offer to be able to reach an agreement? Do you know of any specifics? Have workers said anything to you?
Well, we know that they've been following it and been getting encouraged messaging from the union as it relates to Ford working to end tiers in some areas. That was one of the things that President Shawn Fain said the other night. Also, Ford seems to be doing more for the union says, on job security, and also working as it relates to the ability, the right to strike plant closures or slated plant closures. That was also a big thing, too. So they're able to strike, it seems, some agreements in other areas, but they're still far apart when it comes to GM and Stellantis on some major key points.
Yeah, and certainly we don't know every detail of what's going on behind closed doors, but everybody, before the impact is felt even more, I know everybody really wants agreements to be made. Thank you so much, though, for that live report and update, Dave.